Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I got a question.
MashaAllah.
Excuse me. Once again, this is Noor's Man Institute with another quick question and answer with Imam Na'eem Abdullah. The question is, how is the question, what's your Aqeedah wrong?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. The question, what is your Aqeedah, is wrong from many perspectives. First, before I answer that question, there's really only one group of people that actually ask people that question. What's your Aqeedah? It's almost like a Christian, a Muslim version of the Christian Inquisition, like the Reconquista in Spain, where they wanted to make sure everybody was their type of Christian. And in the medieval Inquisition, let me go there for a minute. That's deep, right? Muslims nowadays are walking up to people saying, "Aqeedah, what's your Aqeedah?" Right? They're actually asking you that. And number one, the Prophet ﷺ, none of the Salaf ever did that, but you have Muslims doing it nowadays. What's your Aqeedah? They're interrogating you. They want you to. They want to see if you're part of their group, and this, in fact, is actually an imitation of the Nasara, the Christians. Why? Because we mentioned the medieval Inquisitions and we mentioned the Spanish Inquisitions, wherein you had the prevailing Christian government in the medieval Inquisition. What they did was they tried to solidify their brand of religion within the government. And so they dealt with all other types of Christianity. In other words, once they agreed that the Trinity was going to be the brand of Christianity that they adhered to and forced everybody else to adhere to, they went to deal with the Unitarian Christians who didn't believe that Jesus was the Son of God. So that was primarily who the target was during the medieval Inquisitions. And the Spanish Inquisitions, this is in Spain, after the Muslims had ruled it in some areas for over 800 years, and the European Christian Spaniards retook Spain, Reconquista, the reconquest, they retook it. They began the process of the Spanish Inquisitions. The Inquisitor, they investigate what your Aqeedah is. Are you Christian? Are you Muslim? Are you Jew? Right? So at the top of the list of what people they tried to root out was the Muslims. Then under them were the Jews. And then under them was any other type of Christian that wasn't adherent to the Trinity. And so they had inquisitions. What is your belief system? If you try to hide it, whatever, they had questions they would ask you. They would actually spy on you to see if you were really a Muslim and you were hiding your identity so that you wouldn't be killed or tortured or what have you. And so, this in fact is when the Muslim is coming to you, asking you what your Aqeedah is. That's the early stage leading to something bigger and more dangerous. And the Prophet ﷺ said, لا تتدبسون الذين من قبلكم شبرا بشبرا وذراعا بذراع حتى لا تدخلوا في جحر داب تبعتموهم. He said, you will definitely follow the people that came before you, step by step, inch by inch, to such an extent that if one of them went into a lizard's hole, you will definitely follow them into it. And this hadith is narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. And he said that it was said to the Prophet ﷺ when he said that, he said, somebody said, Ya Rasulullah, al-Yahud wa Nasara, are you talking about the Jews and the Christians? And he said, Faman. So the Prophet, who else? So the Prophet ﷺ is telling us that we will imitate the Christians and the Jews. So the Christians have done this already. Interrogate people about what their belief system is. All right? So that's number one, that's a problem. They get that from the Christians. Number two, this is not a sunnah. The people who are doing this, They claim that they're the most staunch adherents to the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is defined as, number one, what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did, said, or approved of, right? So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam never did, never said, never approved of that. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam also said, "Alaykum bi sunnati wa sunnatul khulafa rashidin mahdiyyin min ba'di." It is obligatory upon you to follow my sunnah and the sunnah of the rightly guided caliphs that come after me, right? So, okay, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam never did that, right? Or said it or approved of it. The rightly guided caliphs never did it either. In fact, what we have from the sunnah is opposite of that. What we have from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that we don't dig into what's in somebody's heart. Because when somebody asks you what your Aqeedah is, they're asking you, what do you believe? Aqeedah is a technical breakdown of your Iman. You know, our Iman is that we believe in Allah, that we believe in His angels, that we believe in His books, that we believe in His messages, that we believe in the hereafter, and that we believe in Allah's qadr, His divine decree, khayrihi wa sharrihi, is good and is evil. And there's conditions and there's details with all of those things that we're supposed to believe in. So when somebody asks you, what is your Aqeedah, they're asking you about the tenets of your belief. What do you believe in? And this is contrary to the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told us, he said, whoever prays our prayer, man salah salatina, wa istiqbal qiblatina, and whoever faces our qibla, wa akala dhabihatina, and whoever eats our slaughtered meat, fadhalika al-Muslim. That is the Muslim. So you judge the Muslim based upon what's outward, not what's inside of his heart. When Usama ibn Zayd, the beloved son of the beloved Prophet of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know, Zayd, the adopted son of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was Zayd Muhammad, his son Usama ibn Zayd killed a kafir or killed somebody on the battlefield. He had him on the ground with a sword. And then he's at the last minute, right before he's about to get killed, he said, "Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah." And then Usama ibn Zayd killed him anyway. When he told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam about it, he got very upset. He said, "Did you cut open his chest and see what was in his heart? Did you cut open his chest and see what was in his heart? Did you cut open his chest and see what was in his heart?" The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam admonished him. And he said he wished that he had never become Muslim. He had never took Shahada until after that incident. That's how serious it was. Because he killed somebody who said, "La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah." But we also learn from that we're not supposed to dig open and cut open people's chests and try to examine what's in their heart. We examine, we deal with what's right in front of us on the outside. So to ask somebody what their Aqeedah is, it's a bid'ah. The Prophet ﷺ never did it. It's a blameworthy innovation. And it's amazing that the ones who claim to be upon the Sunnah practice that innovation more than anybody else. Nobody from the Salaf ever did that. So the so-called Salafiyya that's doing that, they're upon bid'ah. That's a blameworthy innovation, and they need to leave that. Walhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Bismillah. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. Muhammadun